So it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense as to here we have Brandon Shots as well in 2017. He died of asphyxia. Asphyxia by law or by definition is to be choked. We also have William Kaufman. He died due to, they're saying, diabetes, which doesn't really make sense. There's a lot of things that's just not adding up. This guy died of acute fentanyl toxicity while in prison, which is very concerning. We heard some prisoner stories, and I can throw those up as well. Here's the article that LNP did this week. And all we can do, guys, is really just be, transparent and, try to either educate ourselves or teach somebody else. So asphyxia is the lack of oxygen, and it can be like from a ton of different reasons, but it just seems very weird that an inmate is suffering from asphyxia. We also have Richard Young, William Kaufman. There was a 16-year-old also a couple of years ago that was maced in a small cell with no justification whatsoever from the COs. And then we received some video today, and it is a trigger warning, but if you guys want to take a look, here we go.
So so the guy starts tying up a fucking towel, because the 3-man got the hooks.
Yeah.
He starts hooking up and like starts spinning in the towel. The CO's like, wait. He's like, not yet. Do it after midnight when I clock out. I don't want to do the paperwork.
What? No.
1201, Cool Blue, 22. He tried to hang it up, bro. I'm sitting there with my man's eating the chips while he's sitting there trying to kill himself. I kind of felt bad though, because I'm human, but you know what I mean? CO's like,
nobody not about to die here, right?
He still works there.
No.
Okay.
No.
All, right.
All he says is,
hold on, like,
yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
Definitely
I want
not.
to be able to warn
Nope,
people.
100%.
Like I had my head back literally because I can't watch my own die, so I
Right.
see.
No. He's just an inmate that was recounting his situation of another inmate trying to hang themselves because a CO, correctional officer that still is employed at our county prison, CO Santiago, told him to kill himself, but not on his watch whenever he got off of work.
Okay,
so
okay.
He got off of work at 12 o'clock. At 12:01, they had a code blue. And the guy actually tried to do it. If it wouldn't have been for this guy and his cellie, it would have, turned out not as, successful as it was.
Okay, and was that the end? I'm sorry, because I literally had my head back the whole time it was on.
Yep, nope, that was the end. And it was just him, and I can post that too. Like if you check out my on Meg Keller on Facebook, I posted it as well.
Okay, and I wanted to bring my head up, like to look and not to hear, but I just, if it was gonna be some gunshots or something with them dying,
nope.
I want, and I also want to, and I know you know me and you about the same. Like if it was ever going to be something like that, I really don't want to show it to nobody. But if it was ever going to be, let's just please give them a warning. You get what I'm saying? Because
100%.
Enough die. We really do.
Right. So nobody should be susceptible to that for sure.
Yeah. So okay, thank you. I just had to come in on that part.
Yep. No, you're good. And also, let's talk about our petitions that we have going on. We currently have a petition for an impeachment or a step down for Tasha Mosley. And then we also have a petition for Cheryl Steburger to resign immediately. If you guys want to check that out on our change.org petitions. And me and Mama was talking about this earlier. We have had 1,425 people look at our petition, but only 66 of you have signed it.
Let me reiterate on that, man. That's the problem, people. That's called the problem. I want you to look at these numbers, and I want you to say to yourself, problem. And a lot of times as people, we wait on someone else to do something, right? Like they said, if an accident or something was to happen, the more people around, the less likely someone is to call for help. Because everybody's saying, well, somebody else can do it. Somebody else can share it. But the truth is, when you see 879 petition views, 0 shares, 40 supporters, you guys, that lets us know that not only is the system the problem, but us as people are problems. We clearly are a problem when you got numbers like this. Now, I bet you if I was to go to the next page or whatever, or whoever, I can find all kinds of shares. Let it be something that doesn't even matter when it comes down to your life. We only standing here telling you this because we care about your life too. We could be saying whatever happened in Lancaster State Prison, let it stay in Lancaster State Prison. We ain't nobody that's over this. We don't have no control or nothing. We gonna talk about something you want to laugh about today. We finna do some move. We finna twerk. We finna do whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? Like real people stuff, right? Matter of fact, we finna go back and forth with each other. We just gonna argue and cuss each other out, show some beef. Well, we're taking this time to show you this because we're saying it matters. There's many things we can show. We can talk about your latest talk show. I love watching sisters. I can get on here, boy, tell you about Andy and Fatima them all day. But I'm getting on here saying, hey, y'all, here you go. And here go the facts with it. Now, if you choose not to do nothing with it, if you choose not to even come back and listen, because sometimes we can get talking a little too long, right? So if you choose not to even come back and listen, you are missing things that you need. Because I got it. I know what's going on in Clayton County. I know what's going on in Lancaster Prison in case somebody end up there. I'm able to tell you who the warden is. This is information that you need to know. And that's why we got this here to do it. Impeach Tasha Mosley. You guys see, we showed you the Rainbow House video. You heard them say that the workers was charged. Well, you heard them say everybody was charged outside of Tasha Mosley and her people that work in the district attorney office with her. They are mandated reporters, you guys. Mandated reporters, meaning they have an obligation to report this.
Right. Immediately.
So the fact that whether they did any child molestation or not, whether she came and got more than 2 young girls from the center every now and again and took them out on her own or not, she still was a mandated reporter that failed to report the reports of child abuse and child molestation. You have 16-year-old kids sleeping with 45-year-old workers.
Right.
Let's get it understood. You have the lady over the center whose son is molesting these little girls, having sex with them, and these are girls out of sex trafficking. They've already been abused.
Right. And so the fact that Tasha and her office was involved in this makes it under the Georgia RICO statute. It's organized crime.
It's organized crime. Organized crime, and then you guys guess what she did? She recused her office from the case. She took her office off the case, saying, "Oh, I ain't gonna prosecute it. I ain't gonna let them know that I'm a part of it, but I ain't gonna prosecute it. You ain't gonna find out that I was the board chair of it unless you go research or unless you have the emails in which we have that I sent out, and when I was signing documents via Adobe, you get what I'm saying, and all this stuff that I was putting out." Like I said, I got to stand against you, so I ain't going to give you everything to be used against you. You get what I'm saying? Because it's going to come a point in time that I have to stand up against this because I'm saying it. So guess what? I expect when they go to Rainbow House investigating, the press will be talking to me because of the information that I'm putting out on you. But I only put out what they got out.
Yep.
You just got to go and get it.
And the fact that January 25th, 2022 is whenever she joined the Rainbow House.
And then they tell y'all months later, which is what they reported months later, but we know it happened before January 2022. It's documents to prove it. It was emails sent to Clayton County to prove it. Jeffrey Turner, we calling you out now. You and Tasha been covering this up. I can't wait to Victor Hill. Y'all seen the news said Victor Hill is gonna get an early release. And I'm wondering what got to Victor Hill's sheriff's office about that cover-up that he was about to expose, and probably allegedly found out he got the Jeffries office too, and Victor Hill was about to call him out, and they shot something up against him. I wouldn't bet you. I wouldn't doubt you. I'm gonna bet you though, but I wouldn't doubt you, because all of a sudden, All this stuff keep coming up. You know what he did, but they said he had the jails clean. They said when Victor was in the jails, you could eat off the floor. And you didn't have the deaths that you had now. You get what I'm saying? They said, and the people in Clayton County, all of them, y'all, almost all his citizens. And I know it because I've been in contact with a lot of them. All of them on the back. Even Daphne Jabril mother and her son shot in the head said that Victor Hill was the nicest one she spoke with for Clayton County and one of the only ones that would listen to her. Yep. But Tasha them let him get dragged out all over the media. Now, mind you, look how quick she cut Eric's case. Because she didn't want her to get dragged, right? You could have been stopped them from talking about Victor. You could have been recused yourself from that case, just like you recused yourself from the Rainbow House. You jumped off that case quick. Look at the cases that she just jumped off of so quick. Think about it now. Tasha jumped up off them cases, but for Victor Hill, she let them ride that man out on TV. And then she come at the last minute before time was up and say, I'm out. I ain't going to do the case. You didn't do that for the Rainbow House. You immediately gave it to Chris Carr's office. Tell the truth.
Right. And what about Bernardus Johnson?
Bernardus Johnson, paralyzed. Y'all seen the report we put online? He was shot and he was a Marine. This boy
shot at the child support office.
Shot at the child support office because he was going to answer to a report that his baby mom put out for asking for support. She in a whole nother state. It came to the wrong office. How y'all gonna charge him in Clayton County or have him at the child support office in Clayton County and he lives in Henry County? That's the first thing you did wrong. First thing you kind of did wrong because you're just full of wrongs. Even like I said, from your DFAC system, I dealt with them too. That's why I stand out there now with the grandmother that got a daughter that got over 9 cases on her. 9 cases, different counties, schools, and all telling on her, and she still got her children. And the grandma standing out there saying, hey, y'all, my daughter, they telling y'all, get my grandbabies out. We right here. Her sister right here. Come help. Not Clayton County. Not Clayton County. So what about Bernardus Johnson?
There has to be a change.
What about Khalil Jones?
Oh, I was just saying. Right.
What about Khalil
I was
Jones?
going to say, what about Khalil Jones?
Y'all didn't hear about Khalil no more, right? You remember we was just talking the other week saying that Clayton County, Tasha Mosley and her prosecutor, they didn't do their job in time, and they let out Khalil's boyfriend who had abused her. And when they let him out because they didn't do their paperwork in time, he killed Khalil. Y'all start hearing about that immediately. Y'all know why? Because the parent probably settled out. They knew they were wrong. Clayton County went ahead and shut them up. Tell the truth, Clayton County. Tasha, y'all bit that bullet. Go ahead and close it out. Y'all ain't heard nothing else about Khalil.
Right.
Y'all heard Khalil mama or anybody come and say, my daughter, why they let him out? Y'all ain't even seen the lawyer no more. And see, that's why I like using this, because I'm going to tell you. What about Eric Holmes? Eric Holmes is my son. I ain't going to even go in him too much. Y'all know about Eric Holmes. Y'all seen everything that man told y'all on there was a lie. Showed you the police report. He said they had an altercation. He said Eric draw the gun. They didn't show y'all none of that. Only thing they came back and told y'all was Eric stole the car. And you might have went for it. So let's get off Eric, because he going to get his just, and he the reason why I'm doing this right here. What about Jabril Robinson? What about Jabril Robinson? Shot in the back of his head. They said he had a gun, but guess what? He went to his girlfriend's house. They went to his girlfriend's house after they killed him and asked what kind of gun would he have. Tracy had that case. She was the DA. And now she's the prosecutor. I mean, now she's a lawyer out there. Tracy Graham, just like Keith Martin. So that's what we asked you about. What about them? And, you know, what are we going to do? And that's pretty much it for me.
Right. What we're going to do is stand up and fight. We're not going to stop. You know, we'll do it as respectful as possible. But at the end of the day, when you're wrong, and we have to be accountable. So why shouldn't they? They
got to be accountable. I think we can go ahead and end it, man, because we showed them our petitions. We went over our facts. It was that we had. We gave you guys an opinion. We told you that we have no hate towards these women. Okay, they're women just like us. May stand a little bit different. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Because they're doing the things that we won't do. We're not them types. Okay, they out here doing the work that Clayton County wrong. So they're totally different from what Meg and I are. But
Right.
too many just like us. Our goal is not to bash anyone, but our goal is to call out whatever it is that we see that maybe you can't see. Even if it means we got to spend 30 minutes out of our day telling you something you may not even want to hear. And we already know how the views on the feed gonna go because we just showed you. We see that. We see how many looking, how many ain't signing. But no matter what it is that you want to pay attention to, we're gonna put it here because it deserves to be heard. You need to hear it. You ain't gonna be able to say we didn't say it. Go back and get your information if you wasn't able to listen to it today. And until then, we wish you a great day and we out.
Tell me how you gonna act like these black lives don't matter. Like that could have been your sister or your brother. I was trying to tell you to hold on. Hold on.